Good morning, investor. Welcome to our teams. Today, I would love to take this opportunity to talk about the business climate report in Indonesia, which is constructed with the purpose of informing investors and its prosperous economy alongside the many benefits if they were to invest. The research was done to gather sufficient information relating to their industry, as Indonesia is in the top 10 of world's most populous nations and also the largest economy in Southeast Asia, including their economic indicator, which could serve as an outlook for investors. As you know that Indonesia, officially the Republic of Indonesia, is a country in Southeast Asia and Oceania between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, with an estimated population of 250 million and GDP per capita of around $900 billion. Indonesia is the fourth most populous country in the world. Additionally, the country is the member of several multilateral organizations, including the United Nations, World Trade Organization, G20, and a founding member of non-aligned movement. So that's cover everything I want to say in my first topics. Up next is Kimhong.
Hello, I am Kimhong. Now let me describe about the GDP of Indonesia. Indonesia, which is the 16th largest economy in the world. Based on the World Bank, we have analyzed that GDP in Indonesia was worth $1,186.09 billion USD in 2021. The GDP value of Indonesia represents the 0.08% of the world economy. Due to COVID-19, the GDP of Indonesia was expanded 3.69%. Moreover, the manufacturing sector will be displayed as the important role in Indonesia. Manufacturing is the Indonesia's largest GDP contributor and lay at the heart of Indonesian government and will be developing in the country into the top 10 largest economy globally in 2030. Now let's move to the Human Development Index. Indonesia ranked 6th place in Asia in the Human Development Index. In 2021, Indonesia's Human Development Index score was at 72.29 points. In 2020, ADI was recorded at 71.94, or growth 0.03%. It was lower than the previous year growth. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, ADI growth level has been decreasing, while Indonesia record an average ADI growth of 0.87% in the 2010 to 2019. Indonesia ADI has been increased by 44.3% compared to the ADI in 1980 of just 0.47. GNI per capita in Indonesia. Indonesia GNI per capita for 2021 was $4,140, 6.98% increase from 2020, and GNI per capita of 2020 was $3,870, declining 4.44% in 2019. Indonesia lost its upper middle income after a year due to COVID-19 in controlling poverty and employment. The World Bank downgraded Indonesia from the middle income to the lower middle income, with the gross national income per capita $3,870. The Customer Price Index. The Customer Price Index rose from a value of 107 in January 2022 to a value of 112 in October 2022, according to the tradingeconomic.com. As of doing business, among the 190 economies in us of doing business, Indonesia can rise from 129 plus to 73 plus by spending amount of time for 7 years since 2013. This is so that the investor have more opportunity to start a business in Indonesia.
Hello, my name is Lyza and I will continue about the foreign direct investment. First is what is FDI and how it is important in Indonesian economy. Foreign direct investment is the financial commitment made by company based on another nation purchase controlling share of business operating in other country. FDI support in potential economic productivity since it focus on the sector like mining, energy, transportation, purchase that are typical more productive than other business. The majority of the industry foreign enterprise and more productive and more inclined to the invest in R&D innovation. Second source of destination of FDI, Indonesia. In June 2022, Indonesia investment made for 29% in nominal GDP, down of the 33% revenues quarter with the average ratio of the 31, and Indonesia investment share nominal with nominal. Second source of destination of FDI, Indonesia. In June 2022, Indonesia investment made in 29% of the nominal GDP, down from 33% revenue quarter. With the average ratio of the 21%, Indonesia investment share of the national GDP data of the update that quality and available from March 1993 in June 2022. And the data high March in 1994 at 38% and fall in record low to the June 1999 at 10%. Third is the policies toward FDI. Indonesia is the largest economy involved in Asia and stay in the top 24 in the world investor. It amounts for the more than 1/3 of the combined GDP and Asian member nation in 2020. Globally, Indonesia is the fourth most populous country and 14th largest economy by the nominal GDP.
Hello, my name is Rachakal. I'm here to talking about geography. By taking advantage of the geographical and natural resources, Indonesia tried to make themselves a national trade route. While the renewable energy source capacity of Indonesia has 6 times the energy needed measured in 2020. In addition, because of the advantage of the geography near Australia, Indonesia holds the key to develop Australia-Asian power grid. Moreover, if the Quad want to break the Chinese monopoly, Indonesia will be the first choice they will choose by the reason of the Indonesia geographic, but also their natural resource, nickel. Infrastructure. Indonesia want to enhance public-private partnership to hasten infrastructure development and economic recovery despite the COVID-19 pandemic. The government of Indonesia projected a 20% rise in infrastructure investment need from USD 359.2 billion in 2015 to 2019 to USD 429.7 billion in 2020 to 2024. For the reason, the number of vehicles in Indonesia has increased significantly to more than 150 million vehicles on its road. The government has come to prefer toll road as a way to upgrade the road network without taking an additional financial risk. The estimate 47.4 billion project cost will cover by both public and private funding sources. Sound legal framework investment. Since the foreign investment law first approved in 1967, foreign investment has been recognized in Indonesia. This legislation has changed over time, and in 2007 it was updated and integrated into new investment law. A minimum investment cost of IDR 10 billion must be used if a foreign organization want to legally act as a foreign investment firm. This is around USD $700,000. At the current exchange rate, a defined amount of paid-up equity and asset costs also involve businesses to make sure that they have the resources, the long-term plan necessary to operate in Indonesia.
Hello, my name is Heang Channita. Now I'm going to talk about tax incentive and investment incentive. In Indonesia, the government has a strong commitment to increase investment realization, to attract investors, forcing a need which is convenient, certainty, efficiency, and transparency. There are two types of tax incentive, which is fiscal incentive and non-fiscal incentive. For fiscal incentive, are tax allowance, holiday tax, and investment allowance. For the non-fiscal incentive, business licensing, provision of supporting infrastructure, and immigration. Here are the sound economic and domestic in Indonesia. For sound economic is a emerging powerhouse in Asia with GDP expect $888 billion in 2014. It is a largest economy.
Hello, my name is Rany, and I will be continue with free trade agreement. The first, what are free trade agreement? Free trade agreement are formal international agreement that control problem with the exchange of product, service, and investment between two or more business partners. 2. What nation have free trade agreement with Indonesia? Indonesia has trade agreement with Australia, China, Hong Kong, India, Japan, Korea, New Zealand, Tunisia, Turkey, and Pakistan with ASEAN expansion. Indonesia is a member of the ASEAN Free Trade Area. 3. Who stand to benefit from free trade agreement? In a company that product allowed our product thus to export in free trade agreement in Indonesia. The government does not change tax, but on the other hand, product to import and change at 10% of products. So Indonesia is important to the business. How do STA work? Indonesia's most important export commodities are oil and gas, mining, petroleum oil, electrical appliances, and rubber products. Japan, China, Singapore, and South Korea are Indonesia's top trading partner in Asia. The United States is also a big export market.
Hello, I'm Wathanasokhavotey. Now I continue to talk about potential investment opportunity in Indonesia. First, mining. The mining law outlines the very minimum requirement for the reclamation for holder of IUP and IUPK. The IUPK licenses often also include similar duties. Next, about the manufacturing industry. The manufacturing industry now contributes the most to Indonesia GDP and is central to the government plan to make the nation one of the top 10 economies in the world in 2030. Next, about the tourists. The tourist industry is an important part of Indonesia economy. contributing almost 5% of its gross domestic product. The importance of international tourists in its regards, however, varies greatly with the island of Bali being arguably in Indonesia's most popular tourist destination. Furthermore, from 2017 to 2019, the number of tourists payment will increase. Till 2020, the number of tourists has decreased around 30%. The last is about the physics. The physics after China, Indonesia is the largest physics nation with an annual harvest of approximately 7 million tons. The majority is for domestic consumption with 270 million strong people eating more fish and seafood than the average person with one.
Hello, I'm Lyza. I'm calling you to COVID-19 impact on business sector in Indonesia. COVID-19 had a big impact on business all over the world. Indonesia, which is a developed country, also had been impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. Here is the total coronavirus case in Indonesia during COVID-19. According to the National Business Service in 2020 that conducted in Indonesia showed that 65% of the business and enterprise service said that COVID-19 pandemic had a negative impact on their business. At the same time, 21% of the service companies said that the pandemic gave their business a positive impact. About the service sector, it also plays an important role in Indonesia's economy, and this is reflected in the rising contribution of the service export. Prior to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Indonesia's service export grew. According to a report by the UN Conference on Trade, Investment and Development, forecasted by the UN economists that foreign direct investment will shrink down during the COVID-19 crisis up 40%. It was reported the worldwide FDI was 49% lower during the 2020 than during 2019. Half of the foreign investment are affected badly from infrastructure, funding in venture and
Hello, I'm Heang again. Now let's take a look for normative suggestions. There are three main points of these suggestions. The first thing is the contribution of export is very low to its GDP. Because the problem of Indonesia is the export focuses too much on raw material. So instead of this, Indonesia should focus more and move up their value chain to the final products. Secondly is push digital technology to boost agriculture. Although Indonesia has a good ranking in agricultural productions, but they also have poor ranking in agricultural export. So the government should put more effort and projects to improve the agricultural sector. Last but not least, building or updating infrastructure. For our suggestion, we think that improving the bankability project will attract more investment to lead to high quality infrastructure.
Now our presentation is coming to the end, and there is our conclusion. According to the research on Indonesia and the normative suggestion, we can conclude that it is an opportunity for investors to invest in the country in the 21st century. With all of the problems that can be solved, investors can earn more profit by debuting business in Indonesia. Thank you for paying attention.